What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomad. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Hurricanes Unfiltered on Instagram. Give a shout out to the sponsor of our show, Natalie Lopez, attorney at law. When life hits hard, the law firm Natalie Lopez hits back harder. Practicing in the areas of criminal defense and family law. You can be reached at 954-888-8833. That's 954-888-8833. And at nat.guilty on Instagram, nat.guilty. She will fight for you. This video is about the Miami Hurricanes basketball team. The season ended this past Sunday with a disappointing 79-69 loss against Purdue, the number 2 seed. Obviously not the way the Canes wanted the season to end. You never want the season to end, but there can only be one winner, one national champion. So everyone's season will end with a loss, with the exception of one team. And we will not sit here and believe that the Canes were a legitimate national champion contender, but we did hope that they can make a deeper run into the tournament. And I genuinely believe that they had an opportunity to beat Purdue. Purdue is a solid team, but not an exceptional team. I don't know that there are any exceptional teams in college basketball. Purdue had lost a handful of games over the past 10. They had lost 3 of their last, well, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. They were basically 6 and 4 over their past 10. So they had lost 4 of their last 10. They did find a way in the Big Ten tournament to turn it all around and get a big win against Nebraska, beat Michigan in the Big Ten championship to capture that crown and earn that 2 seed. Very, very good team, though. I mean, again, like I said, I don't think anyone's exceptional, but a very good team with a very balanced team. You know, the leading scorer averages 14 points per game, yet against Miami, he did basically nothing. Miami did a great job in bottling up Braden Smith. They really locked him down. He had eight assists, but he had 8 turnovers. He finished with 12 points, but he was 3 of 12. Miami put Shelton Henderson on him, providing that size that made a big difference in the game. And if you told me that the Miami Hurricanes would have held Braden Smith to eight turnovers, made him commit 8 turnovers, I would say that Miami's probably going to win the game. Unfortunately for the Miami Hurricanes, they did give up 53% shooting. They got beat up pretty good by Trey Kaufman-Renn, their big, who had 19 and early on was just cooking Miami. The guy that really killed Miami, though, was Fletcher Lawyer, their shooting guard, who had 24 points, was 6 of 7 and 4 of 4 from 3 and 8 of 8 from the line. He absolutely murdered the Canes. Showed a little bit of classlessness at the end of the game, doing an upside down U. Apparently, the Miami Hurricanes brand is so big that even in basketball, these folks will do the upside down U, which I find to be loser mentality and loser activity. But that's another story for another day. The Canes had a shot. They were leading at halftime by 2, led by as many, I believe, by 9 in the first half. Gave up the lead, got tied, took the lead again going into the break on a shot by Trey Donaldson. But the early parts of that second half, they kind of let go of the rope, and Purdue made an early run. All that said, this was a 4-point game with about a minute and change to go. The Canes had a chance. They were there. They were right there. It was 73-69, I believe, with like a minute and change left. Let me verify that again. So with we fell behind 72-61 with 3:50 left, and got it to 73-69 with 57 seconds left after a bucket by True Washington. But Trey Donaldson fouls Braden Smith. I didn't like that strategy. They fouled him on purpose and sent him to the line. He made both free throws. Then we missed a shot, and that's basically the ball game. It was an uneven performance by the team, And I mean, I've seen people commenting about Malik Renew's game, and Renew, look, he did not play well. There's no sugarcoating it. He did not play well. He had 16 points, but 6 of 15, and he turned the ball over like crazy. His ball control was horrible, and I mean, he probably played one of his worst games of the season. But realistically, when you lose in the tournament, you typically don't lose because you played well. If you play well, you generally win. So it's very rare that you would have your best players play well and you still lose in the NCAA tournament, especially for a team like the Miami Hurricanes, a team that that's in the upper quarter of the country in terms of this season. I mean, the Canes were a top 25 team as far as I'm concerned, even though they weren't ranked going into the tournament. I believe they will finish probably in the top 25 when all the rankings are done. But his turning the ball over was critical. He turned the ball over so many damn times in this game, just fumbling it. Early on, he missed so many bunnies. There was a chance early on for Miami to jump up probably 6, 8, 10 points, and he just kept missing layups. And that is not going to get it done. He didn't make a perimeter shot. He was 6 of 12 from two, but early on he was missing layups left and right. Ernest Uday Jr. He did nothing. He had 3 points. You got nothing out of him. Trey Donaldson at 13, but again, he was 4 of 15. So you got from your two best guys, you got 29 points on 30 shots, 10 of 30. That's not going to get it done against any good team in the country. Like it just won't. You won't. We wouldn't have beaten Louisville with those guys going 10 of 30. We wouldn't have beaten SMU. We wouldn't have beaten North Carolina. We wouldn't have beaten a lot of teams with those two guys going 10 of 30. In fact, I would be remiss if I had to go look through the stat boxes to see how many times these guys were 10 of 30 combined this season. True Washington came off the bench for 11, went 5 of 13. He was pretty good in the first half, second half, not so much. In fact, I mean, just looking at Miami's losses this year, when you go look at the Florida game, um, yeah, I mean, the Renew and Johnson were 13 of 40 in that game, so that's comparable. We lost. Um, if you got your guys playing like that, your two best guys are doing that, you're probably going to lose. And if you look at the game against BYU, 11 of 32, it seems like whenever we lost, that was the type of performance we got from our two best players. And unfortunately, that's what happened in this game. We did beat Missouri in the first game, 80 to 66, which was great. Um, and yeah, you look at the Clemson game that we lost, 6 to 19 combined. So every time those guys didn't play well, we pretty much lost. I think the only game where I would say that we offensively we were good was Cal, where they went 11 for 19. Um, and we just couldn't stop anybody. And against Virginia, similarly, we lost 86-83 and couldn't stop anybody. Even Louisville with a loss to 92-89, we couldn't stop anybody. So there were defensive issues in those games more than anything else. They weren't offensive. But yeah, this was obviously a disappointing end to the season. We did beat Missouri. We did win a first round game on the road, no less. I mean, that was a big win for the Hurricane program. I think it was a needed win. I thought this team had a shot to get to the Elite Eight with the bracket it was in. I think Purdue's a good team, a very good team, but not a great team. I think they will beat Texas in the next round. And I thought that if we could have beaten them, we would have probably beaten Texas and at least gotten to a matchup with Arizona, which is where I had us losing was to Arizona in the Elite Eight. Shelton Henderson was our best player in this game. He went for 18 points. He played really, really well, 9 of 11 from the floor. He played a really strong game, 19 points, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 assists. I'll be real. The concern that I had with what I saw was I think Jay Lucas did a great, great job with this team this year, but I didn't like the rotations. I didn't like the rotations towards the end. I didn't like the fact that The second Timothy Malavich got back, Noah Dovrat got sent to the bench. If you noticed, Dovrat was really shooting the ball well, and then all of a sudden Malavich is back, and Dovrat can barely get on the floor. And I didn't like that because I think Dovrat's better than Malavich. I mean, for what we needed a guy that can make some jump shots. And Malavich, while he's supposed to be a good shooter, I don't watch him make too many shots. It seems like in the big game situations, he does not make shots. Davrat, on the other hand, makes shots, and he's a shot maker. And I was surprised that he got no playing time against Purdue. I thought that would have been an option. He didn't play 1 minute versus Purdue. Against Missouri, even against Missouri, he played 4 minutes. Had 3 points, 1 of 3 from three. So you saw his playing time decrease once Malavich got back. You can go look at what he had done. He scored 12 against SMU, 9 against Louisville. And he didn't score in the ACC tournament game because he didn't take a shot in that game. 7 minutes of action. Did he take a shot? Sorry, he took one shot. But you had these games with BC where he went for 12. He went for 12. Then he had SMU went for 12 back to back, 4 for 5, 4 for 5 from three. Then against Louisville goes 3 for 6 from three. And it's just weird to me that he just got sat. It was odd. I didn't like that. I think you have to be more willing to go deeper into your bench. Unfortunately, we don't have the deepest bench, in the country. We're very top heavy with our roster. And look, man, 26-9 after going 7-24 last year is incredible. Jay Lucas did an amazing job. I do think there are things that can be tweaked. I think there are things that can be worked on. And I think and there's not anyone would agree with that. Now, we will be losing Malik Renault. He's gone. Trey Donaldson, he will be gone. I don't know about Ernest Uday will be gone. From what I'm seeing, True Washington can come back. Although I thought he was a senior, I guess maybe he has another year of eligibility. He's a junior. My mistake. He's a junior, so he can come back. I think he would be a great piece to our team next year. Shelton Henderson. I do have questions whether or not he will decide to turn pro or not. Um, I think Shelton Henderson has a lot of work to do. He is a very physical specimen, and quite honestly, I see this guy as a tight end in the NFL more than I see him as a basketball player. I mean, he had a very good freshman year. He's a high level recruit, but there is a lot of holes to his game. He is not a tremendously skilled player. This is a guy who clearly in high school just physically mauled people. He can't shoot from the perimeter. He hits his deepest range is probably 14 to 17 feet. 3-point shooting, not good at all. Not a good free throw shooter, but physically imposing, incredibly athletic, and a guy who I think you can build a program around. I just think he's a guy that needs to stick around for 4 years, at the very least three. And this is where it will come down to what Jay Lucas can do with these guys who are supposed to be coming back. I think Dante Allen returns. I would presume Dovrat, Malovich, and these other guys return. Marcus Allen, hopefully he's healthy and has recovered from cancer and he can play next year. So I would expect him to be back, and presuming he's healthy. Miami's bringing in Caleb Gaskins from Columbus High School, just got named Player of the Year in Florida. 6'8" wing power forward who can really, really be a big time playmaker for the Canes. He's a 5-star recruit. So that would, if Sheldon Henderson returned, that would give us 2 5-star guys on in our lineup. Which I mean, you haven't seen that at Miami. I don't know ever potentially. Then the question becomes, who can Miami grab out of the portal to fill in these holes? Because we do need a point guard. We do need a defensive center, or preferably a guy that can do both, a center who can defend and score. Look, Renault came in this year, and he was fantastic for us. 19 points per game, 6.5 boards, all first team, all ACC. And I don't know that anyone could have imagined that you would get that. Trey Donaldson comes over, 16.5 points, 45% shooting, almost 6 assists, almost 4 rebounds. Had a really, really strong season. And I wish these guys a great deal of success at the next level, whether or not they're in the NBA or in the G League or in Europe. I wish them a great deal of success. Now, that the goal here for Jay Lucas is to build a program, not have a 1 year, one hit wonder team. You want to build a program. And he has the ability to do so. He's definitely a charismatic coach who the players like. And what he did this season was nothing short of spectacular. If you told anybody here that Miami would win 26 games, most people would probably have laughed at you. Most folks would have probably laughed at you. Now, the goal is to do better next year, to be better next year. You don't want to be the same team or worse. You want to be better. So let's see what he can get done in the portal, and who returns. Because in this world of NIL, things change like this. This entire team was brand new. Everybody's brand new, and all these guys that came in made a major impact and something to be very, very proud of. So I salute all of them. It was a great season, in my opinion. You never want to lose, obviously. Only one team will be the last man standing, the last team that wins a game. But when you're a team like the Miami Hurricanes that was sitting at 7-24 last year in the pits of hell, and in 1 year you go 26-9, and you're in a 4-point game with a minute to go against a team ranked in the top 10 in the country. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive if you ask me. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all jumping on board. Once again, this is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.